The idea of virtual reality, VR, is no longer novel or cutting-edge for gamers, yet this does not in any way diminish the excitement of participating in VR experiences. Since virtual reality headsets have become somewhat simpler to obtain, an increasing number of individuals are beginning to experiment with the technology in order to, at long last, play some of the most impressive VR games currently available. Superhot VR. Superhot began over 10 years ago as a browser-based demo. Therefore, it's safe to assume that the elegant, smooth shooter has progressed significantly since then. The game as we know it is yet another shooter that sets you against a room full of foes, but there's a twist. In Superhot VR, and you've probably heard this before, time only moves when you do. This provides for an exciting time as you duck and dive away from enemy attacks, causing time to slow considerably while you stand motionless and plan your next move. Because of the way Superhot VR operates, it's impossible not to feel like a ruthless assassin when playing it. The enjoyable gameplay undoubtedly makes it one of the greatest VR shooters, especially if you prefer a less realistic experience. The Room VR, A Dark Matter. The Room VR, A Dark Matter is a game to consider for individuals who are drawn to all things weird and flavored with dread. It's an enthralling puzzle game brimming with intrigue that feels like you're immersed in a real escape room. The Room VR explores the disappearance of an Egyptologist, which sparks an investigation by the police into what happened to them. Without giving anything away, this is one for fans of riddles, exploring the surroundings, and solving mysteries. There are no fast changes that will make you nauseous, and the game's escape the room premise allows you to take a step back and take everything in if necessary. Speaking of taking everything in, the Room VR is packed with fascinating imagery and esoteric undertones that any fan of darker themes would enjoy. Vader Immortal. Well, you may use mods in Blade and Sorcery to fight with Darth Vader and others, but what if I told you that you could genuinely duel with Star Wars' dubious masked antagonist? Vader Immortal is a 3-chapter narrative that is brief but sweet, and in the end, excellent for any VR experience. You'll learn how to be a Jedi, explore Mustafar, and master the use of a lightsaber. There are also lots of puzzles along the road, which allows your Jedi mind talents to shine. Outside of the main tale, there's also a lightsaber dojo to visit for those who want to take a break from cleaning out opponents around Mustafa, or simply become skilled at using their lightsaber. With enough practice, you could certainly outperform Obi-Wan. Demeo. Demeo is essentially a virtual reality Dungeons & Dragons clone. Another dungeon crawler, but this time in virtual reality and with buddies. It's one of the better multiplayer experiences for VR lovers out there, especially if you have some pals with headsets as well. Your evening of tabletop gaming is transformed by the 4-player cooperative experience. You choose a class and then go prowling randomly generated dungeons with your crew, and you no longer need to be in the same room as your friends to get started. Demeo sessions are difficult. Some will take only a few minutes, while others will last several hours. Yet, one thing is certain. Demeo will undoubtedly become one of your favorite VR experiences if you enjoy tabletop RPGs and have a companion or 3 to join you. Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil 4 is perhaps the series' best game. We not only get to witness the handsome Leon Kennedy take the reins after establishing himself as a rookie cop, but we also get to visit a brand new location in Spain. The game's acclaim is no doubt why it's one of the few Resident Evil games that has been officially transferred to VR, but it also works remarkably well. As Leon, you must go and save the president's daughter while dipping and diving through zombies in virtual reality. It's terrifying, but in all honesty, it's a fun game that's made even more enjoyable in virtual reality. If Resident Evil 4 isn't your cup of tea, Resident Evil 7 is now available on PSVR, and a number of other titles in the series can be played with your headset due to some skilled modders. Half-Life: Alyx. If you own a VR headset, you've probably heard that you should play Half-Life: Alyx. It's not a straight sequel to Valve's Half-Life predecessors, but it's nevertheless a full-fledged game that elevates the series. You play as Alyx Vance in Half-Life. Alyx after the events of Half-Life, but before the events of Half-Life 2. The game lasts about 10 to 11 hours and was designed expressly for VR play by Valve, so you know you're getting your money's worth with this experience. While we wait for Half-Life 3, Half-Life. Alex is the greatest VR game to keep you entertained in the interim. You get to combat aliens in magnificent landscapes, along with great puzzles, shootouts, and a compelling narrative. When you're done, you may visit Half-Life, Alex's Steam workshop, to try out some of the community creations. Thanks for watching this video on the best VR games so far. I hope you found some great new games to try out in virtual reality. If you did, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more content just like this. If you have any other great VR games that you think should be on this list, let me know in the comments below. And don't forget, keep gaming, in virtual reality or not, and I'll see you in the next video.